Okay, so for reading workshop today, for reading workshop today, we are going to do Peel the Fruit. We've been talking a lot about this in the Cultures of Thinking routine, but first here's the learning goal that we're learning about today. We can identify the theme of wholes. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Show me right at your chest. 1 is you don't know what we're talking about. 2 is I can do the theme, but I'd like a little bit of help from my teacher. 3 is, hey, I get it. And 4 is, I'm so good at theme, I can teach it to my parents. So 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay. Before we start this activity, I want you to tell me what I am doing. Okay? I want you to tell me what I am doing right now. What am I doing? Kendall, what am I doing?
You're peeling the banana.
Okay, I'm peeling the banana. What am I doing, Michael?
You're peeling the fruit.
I'm peeling the fruit. So today, the thinking routine that we are going to do is called Peel the Fruit. What is important about doing Cultures of Thinking routines? Why do we do these thinking routines? What do they make us do? Think about it for a second. Why do we do step insides? Why do we do circle of viewpoints? Why do we do headlines? What do we learn from that? Gabby?
To make us kind of dig deeper into the story.
Yes. Say that a little bit louder for us.
To kind of dig more into the story.
She said dig deeper into the story. Really analyze that story and get to the heart of what we're trying to talk about. Rose, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Like gets our brains thinking.
Yeah, it gets our brains thinking. So peel the fruit. It makes us think deeper. We're going to analyze different viewpoints, how characters view different characters differently, maybe how you guys view characters differently. And then we are also going to, finally, our final thing we're going to do is we are going to find the heart or the theme of the story. So I want you to take a look at this picture, and obviously this is a picture of wholes. And in a complete sentence with your purple sticky note, I want you to answer the following questions. What do you see, and what do you notice in this picture? If you need a little bit more help, here are some sentence starters. I see what? I notice what? Make sure you are using capital letters in complete sentences. This is obviously a picture of Stanley digging a hole, but tell me what you see. Describe to me what you see. I'll give you about 30 more seconds. Finish this one up. When you're done, put your clipboard in front on the ground in front of you. Awesome, Carson. That shows me you are done. All right, can somebody share with me? Now I just want to kind of, you guys have seen this, I've had this up here all today, and it's peel the fruit. But then under it I put peel the onion. Onion's not a fruit, we know that, but why do you think I would put peel the onion? How do you think I'd put peel the onion? Loud teacher voice. Ben?
Because when Stanley and Zero were on Big Thumb, they ate the onions.
Yeah, so in wholes, onions are very symbolic. They're very meaningful. They talk about health for onions and how that kind of helps Stanley and Zero to get through the desert, right? So instead of calling it peel the fruit, today only we can call it peel the onion if we want. So if you can imagine this is an onion, I don't know if you've ever seen an onion cut in half, but this is kind of what it looks like in the middle. So this outside of the onion is what we see. So that's why right here we are doing what we see and what we notice. That's going to go on the outer skin of our onion today. Can somebody share with me what they notice about this picture? What do you notice? Brendan?
I see a car and I notice Stanley digging a hole. Also, the car looks very dirty.
Yeah, so he notices a lot of things. He said he notices the car is dirty. He notices Stanley. He identified Stanley as this character. He's digging a hole. Why don't you come on up and bring just your purple sticky note and stick it along the edge. We'll all stick them up here eventually. Right now we'll just get a few. What else do you notice, Dom?
I see Stanley in the desert with the shovel, and I see him holding the fish fossil.
Oh, you see him holding that fish fossil. Come on up and bring yours up and tape it around the outer skin for what we just see when we look at this picture. What else, Josh?
I see Stanley with something in his hand and notice a truck coming.
Yes. You notice a truck coming. I wonder if that's the truck that he is going to take. Steal. All right, Isabel, what do you notice?
I see 2 holes and a car in the background, and I notice that there are birds.
All right, so this first row, I'd like you to take off your purple sticky note, and we're going to come put it around the edge. Second row, why don't you guys take off your purple one? We'll fit that up here as well. So this is what we notice. That's our outer layer. Thank you. Gracias. All right. These are all things we notice, and we're going to do a turn and talk with our partner for the next one. But things that we notice, this one is a little bit easier. As we get deeper into the heart of our fruit, or in this case, the heart of our onion, we are going to start thinking a little bit deeper, and that's when I want you to share with your partner. Let's have this group right here. Just kind of hand these. I love all the complete sentences I'm seeing. All right. Thank you. Yes, Mackenzie?
I like how when the car's circling around, it's inside.
Yeah. That's kind of neat, isn't it? All right, so that was the outside of our skin. Pretty cool, huh? We don't need them all. We'll get them all later, okay? We'll just do a few of them now. So we start to peel our fruit. Next. We're digging a little bit deeper, and isn't it kind of funny? We're digging deeper into the center, trying to find the heart and the theme of our story. But in holes, don't the boys dig deeper to try and find a suitcase?
Yeah.
The suitcase? Kind of cool, huh? So, digging deeper, up here. In a complete sentence, we're going to the next layer under the skin. In a complete sentence with your yellow or your highlighter color sticky note, you are going to create 2 questions. What are 2 questions you still have about holes? We finished holes today, but what are some questions you still may have? What still puzzles you? And right here, if you need some sentence starters to help you, question words like who, what, when, where, why, how. Questions you still have, or things you still ponder about, even though we're done with holes. They kind of left us with a few cliffhangers. What do you still have questions about? Ben?
Can you do more than 2?
Can you do more than 2? Always. Have at least 2. Make sure your questions have a what at the end. Thank you for raising your quiet hand, Morgan. Question mark.
Can you put Miss Walker's in the board?
Can you put what?
Miss Walker.
Yeah, Miss Walker or the warden, whatever makes more sense to you. Lucas?
I can use a pencil in my pencil.
Sure. What are 2 questions you still have? Yes. When you're done, I will know because I will see your clipboard on the carpet in front of you. As you're finishing up, make sure you have a capital letter and it has a question mark. Alright, it is important for us to have, I see a lot of us are finishing up here, it's important for us to share our questions because maybe your carpet partner has an idea about what could happen. Okay, maybe they have an idea about how to answer your question. So right now, when I'm done talking, I'd like you to share your questions with your carpet partner. I want the carpet partner on the right to share first. Quietly whisper, go.
I know, right?
All right. Give me a thumbs up when you're done. Okay, there are some great questions being asked here. And Isabel thought of a question that I didn't even really think of. Isabel, you want to tell us what that question is, loud and proud, please? The one you just said in front of me.
Is Stanley going to visit Camp Green Lake again?
Do you think Stanley may visit Camp Green Lake again? That's not even something I thought about. I wonder if he will. Now that it's a Girl Scout camp, maybe he wants to go back and see how it's changed from when he was there to now. It's a great question. All right, Lucas, what's one of your questions you still puzzle?
Where does the other boys go?
What other boys?
Like squid, armpit, zigzag, x-ray?
Yeah.
Where do they go?
I wonder where they went. Great question. These are all things that are starting to make us dig a little bit deeper to find the theme of the story. So, again, first row, will you take off that green highlighter sticky note for me? And again, the rest of the class, we are going to add these in a little bit, especially when we hang it. But for right now, we're just going to get it a few on here.
What about the second?
Raise your hand, please. Second row, can you get your green sticky notes ready for me? Heather, do you want to start putting yours that way? And just how I'm doing it. And then this group again right here. Just like I did.
Definitely good.
Yep, I know you can be quiet. And then I bet you can guess what color sticky note we are using next. That's good, we got enough right now. Take a seat, we'll tape these on later. We'll tape these on later. Just take a seat. Now, we're continuing to dig deeper. If you can see here, what do you think we're going to be doing for our next sticky note? You can go ahead and read this. And here's kind of some more helpful ways to talk about it. But this one is exciting because we are making connections with what happened in the book. So in a complete sentence, and I'm going to give you a minute to think about this one because this one takes a little bit more time to think, but you're going to use your blue sticky note and answer the following questions. You don't have to answer all of them. Whatever one makes the most sense to you, that's the one you can answer. How does a character or part of the book relate to your life? So this is a text to self connection. You're making a connection between something in the book and something in your life. The next one is, how does a character or part of the book relate to another book you've read? This is the connection between the text and the what? Text to, if we're reading another book, text to text connection. The last one down here is, how does a character or part of the book relate to a situation in the world or something going on in our world? This is a text to world connection. So think about, maybe there's a character in the story that you can relate to.
Yeah.
Maybe a character in this book, you can relate it to a character in our last mentor text, which was A Tiger Rising. Maybe you can relate Rob to Stanley. Here are some sentence starters. I'll move this out of your way if you need a little bit of help. Stanley reminds me of myself when holes in the Tiger Rising both. Another one is in the desert. That could be more of a text to world connection. If you can do more than one of these, that's fine too. You can relate it to something that goes on in your life. I love these connections you're making, and I see some of you making one for each of them. Text to text, text to self, text to text, and text to world connections. And when you're done, I'll know. Show me how I know when you're done. Ab, what do you got for us?
Rob and
I'm sorry.
this is sort of like text to text because when Rob and the Tiger Rising, like they both got bullied, but in the end they made friends.
Oh, I love it. She said Rob and the Tiger Rising and Stanley and Holes, they both got bullied, and in the end, do you think their character grew? Do you think they were able to have more self-confidence after they got bullied and were able to deal with it? Did Rob get stronger and did Stanley both get stronger? Yeah, they did. Gab, what do you think?
Stanley reminds me of myself because we both, at the beginning of the book, Stanley used to be really shy and I used to be really shy. Now Stanley's confident and I'm confident.
Yes, so you had a text to self connection. Gabby says, I used to be really shy just like Stanley used to be really shy, and then he started to get more outgoing and more confident, and Gabby said she started to get more outgoing and more confident too, and I've noticed that in 4th grade as well. Keep it up. Another connection, and tell me what connection you made. Kendall?
Stanley reminds me of myself when I made a big hole with my friend.
Okay, so you dug a hole just like Stanley dug a hole. Sure, I want you to go ahead and share your connections with your carpet partner. Partner on the left, go first. Just like Stanley kind of posted She didn't find it, but it was still something really important to her. Give me a thumbs up when you're done. All right, again, I'd like you to front row with that blue sticky note. And then second row, you can come start doing the other side on your own. Gracias. So we are digging even a little bit deeper. We're getting closer to our theme. Thank you, thank you. All right, I think we are good. Thank you for managing your impulsivity and finding a spot. Thank you, I'm good right now, thanks. So this is kind of a way for us to celebrate finishing our story. And when we finish our story, it's always important to reflect as readers. Done. It's always important for us to reflect as readers on our book. And what did that author want us to learn? We're getting closer and closer to that theme, to analyzing the theme of our story. So next, please do that right. There we go. Can you back up just a little bit, please? Different viewpoints. Now this is kind of like the Cultures of Thinking routine circle of viewpoints where we're taking different angles, all looking at the same thing. So in a complete sentence on your orange sticky note, you're going to answer the following question. Here's your question. What characters or situations in the book could people think differently about? Here are some sentence starters. You might need to take a little bit of time and think about this one. Stanley thinks 0 is what? Intelligent. What do you think Stanley thinks 0 is what? Because the other campers think 0 is blank because, can you finish that sentence? Here's another viewpoint we could look at, is the warden. The warden thinks the attorney is what? Remember that attorney came in there. She acted like she owned that Camp Green Lake, right? And the warden's like, wait, I'm the one in charge. So what do you think the warden thinks of the attorney? But then on the other hand, we have Stanley who's like, oh, yes, the attorney's here. Thank you, you're saving me. So I want you to analyze these different viewpoints. You should be really proud of yourself, because if you are using these sentence starters, and if you're not, that's completely okay too. But you should be proud of yourself, because I see a lot of you guys using evidence from the book. Things that happened in the book to support what you're trying to say. I think Stanley thinks 0 is smart because why? What is something in the book, some evidence from the book that tells you that Stanley thinks 0 is smart? Okay, and I see we're starting to finish up here. Let's see, what do we have? Josh?
Stanley thinks 0 is smart because he just knows how many numbers are in the ABCs.
He knew how many letters were in the alphabet. And then he starts to realize, hey, you're smart. That's what Stanley thinks of 0. Now, tell me what another viewpoint of 0 is. How does somebody else think about 0 differently? Ashlyn?
The other campers think 0 is he doesn't know anything and he's weird because he doesn't really talk a lot.
Yeah. The other campers think 0 is weird because he's quiet. And they don't think he's very smart because he's quiet. Just because you're quiet doesn't mean you're not smart, right? But that's what the campers think of him. But Stanley thinks of him differently. Does anybody else have a different connection that they made? Mackenzie?
Stanley thinks 0 is nice because 0 helps Stanley dig a 5 feet wide hole and 5 feet tall. Also, 0 helps with finding the chest.
So she just said Stanley thinks 0 is really nice and helpful because, and I love the evidence she used, was he helped Stanley dig that big hole, right? Share with your partner the viewpoints that you've got. All right, we are peeling another layer of our fruit, or in this case, we are peeling another layer of our onion. This time I'm only going to need a few, so first row, pass them on down to Owen, and I'll just take them from you guys. Pass them down to... On your bottom, please. Manage your impulsivity. Thank you. All right, now we are to the center, or the core, or the most important part.
Only one person gets to go.
I'll wait. Show me you're ready to listen, and show me you're ready to learn. Griffin, show me you're ready to learn. Kendall, show me you're ready to learn. All right, this is the most important part of peeling the fruit. We are thinking so deep right now. As readers, you guys are analyzing the text and reflecting back to what's been going on in the book. Now we are at the most important, the core of the fruit, or the core of the onion. And you can already tell what we're going to do next. Let's take a look at our smartboard slide. We want to know, when we're done with a book, we want to reflect on that book and ask ourselves, what is that message the author wants us to learn? What is the theme of the entire book? What is a theme? And there's a lot of different types of themes in here. I want you to take a moment with your red sticky note. You're going to answer the following question. What is the theme of the story? What is learned throughout the book? What does that author want us to come away with when we're all done?